guys, welcome to another exciting time with your girl Ada Igwe, aka I2 Sabi, and you are on to Chit Chat with Ada. And you know what to do. If you're here to subscribe. We have to move to the permanent site. I'll keep saying this thing. We must move to the permanent site. With your subscription, your likes, your comments, that's how we're going to move to the permanent site. All right, guys. So today is so special because I have my friend, I have my sister. So Damilola is someone that I always describe our friendship as solid because we may not see every day, we may not see every week, we may not see every month, but we are solid. Do you understand? Like, we keep in touch, but that friendship that you don't really have to do much to service it.
It is sealed. Don't worry, our friendship is sealed.
And today I'll be talking about motherhood. I want to hear her own motherhood experience from her mouth directly, although we've heard about it, you know. So how many kids do you have?
Two wonderful boys.
But wait, that two now, did you plan to have before your wedding, like before you got married, like did you plan that it's two, or actually, as you saw the wedding thing?
No. We actually planned to have two girls, but like people say, man proposed, God composed.
When did you get married again?
I remember.
How many years now?
11 years, actually. 11 years.
You did pursue me for backwards.
This month.
I was always having 8 in my head. I don't know, say when I don't even old like that.
11 years.
Man, you
my
are old.
first son
Marriage counseling loading. 10. Oh, what are we turning 10?
10 in February.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Muri.
Yes, sir. That my small boy.
How long did you wait before? What was the waiting period for you before you conceived for your first child?
Like I said, I keep saying that there's a story behind that, but I don't think we're ready for the story today. No, let's go there today. But it was 6 months. 6 months. Yes. It wasn't like there was a waiting period actually, okay. But it was 6 months after.
Ask, you know, some people get married that.
And they will be counting for them that when did this person get married?
You know, your own will be like, when you just say that the person has given birth, not you.
That's
like,
the counting now.
Like we are judging.
We are not judging, but we are counting. We are not judging, but we are counting.
We're not judging, but you know, when you just hear that somebody got married so Saturday, and your phone calendar, everybody.
We do it now, and you are not judging, Abby.
No, you just want to see. The corrupt mind wants to go that. Okay, so now that night.
But actually, how many people actually do on that night?
A lot of people. It may not be that night.
Then maybe after you have.
How many couples have you stayed with at night?
No, but the truth is, you'll be tired from the activities of the day. Maybe in the wee hours of the morning, no, but not the night like that.
The way you are thinking it is not the way everybody's thinking.
That's how I think it too.
You experienced anything like a miscarriage or any?
Oh no. It was just.
So how was it with your in-laws? Did you have pressure from in-laws?
In-law kwa. I beg, you know, one good thing my husband has always done for me is that he has kept me away from all those drama and all that. So my husband is the first son of the family, and in my culture, when you get married like that, Yoruba, yes, in our culture, the first son, the wife will sleep. The first night after you get married, you sleep in your in-laws' place. You know, they have this mentality of they want just to be sure that their wife is complete and all that. So my in-laws were bringing that leg, and my husband just told them, we are not around, we are not available. So so after we got married, we just decided to stay here in Port Harcourt for a while. So before they would even think of coming to see us or even knowing if I was pregnant or not, they would need to make a journey, and they didn't bother. And before they saw us next.
That for me, I didn't have pressure from in-laws.
Okay.
My in-laws actually do not care. Do you understand? They are not that kind of people. But I think the pressure even came from my own mom. You know, first daughter.
My mom actually.
Yeah.
Some weeks after I came home, she was like, we should be seeing you spitting, or we should be seeing your face, you know, all those kind of stories. And you know, since she's my mom and we know how to handle each other, she didn't even bring it up again.
My mom, same thing with my mom, she didn't really say why or I have malaria. Have you gone to
She
the
was
hospital?
bringing the leg of, we need to be seeing the result of the honeymoon people say you went to now. You know all those. And I was not asking her. I said, so what do they do in honeymoon? I thought we were supposed to be praying now. She said, it's prayer, is this, you know, those kind of story.
Then the pressure I had were from like from friends, you know. Like when you get married, there's this thing about newlyweds, small malaria.
Are you sure you should be taking all those over-the-counter
I
drugs?
remember we went to Lagos and we spent like a night with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
And not like it was pressure or anything, no. So I was sick. And he was like telling my husband that people should go to the hospital, explain to the doctor that people just got married.
Oh.
Explain to the doctor, you know, just giving that hint of
so that you don't,
like,
they don't start, they don't
oh, God. So even friends did that, like you go out, you just cough. Is it?
Are you sure you're okay?
Did I do it to you?
No. See, you want me to talk about you? Not today, I beg. But really, you were nice to me. Very, very nice to me. Very nice.
Shape my earrings on the record.
Very nice to me. Let me even tell them. When I was pregnant, she was always bringing this yam pepper soup.
Yeah.
Although she knows that I didn't take it, but she was always there checking up on me. Are you okay? This and that. No, she really tried for me.
Think of first because that's first.
Yes, first
I
pregnancy.
have to pet you. The second one.
She no send me now.
Drink complex. You feel. How long did it take you before you had the second? Like,
Hell.
We are going to a place. We are not going to that place.
My first son was just 8 months when I got pregnant for my second son.
Oh, should we reduce the volume?
My first one was just 8 months, and you know, because I was naive and all that, I had not started menstruating, so I thought it was my safe period. So I was just.
You didn't see your period for like 8 months.
No. Oh, so and I felt like I was safe until I started spitting, and you know, I felt like dying.
I remember because I was like, when did we dedicate?
I felt like
when
dying.
Did we dedicate Muri?
Unfortunately for me, my first son did not work on time.
Oh, really?
He didn't work on time. He didn't work on time. I was carrying the baby and I was carrying Tommy. Oh God.
So which of the pregnancies really stressed you the most?
The
second. I know that pregnancies are never the same.
The second.
I
actually felt I was going to die.
Ew.
True. Actually felt I was going to die. Naturally I would have, when I'm pregnant, I have pregnancy-induced high blood pressure. Pregnancy-induced high blood pressure, and they were always checking for protein and sugar in my urine and all that. So, but for that second one, it was just difficult. The second was more difficult than the first.
Okay.
Yes.
I think same thing for me because, now most people, I hear women, when I was like my pregnant days, people say the first one, some people, not everybody, some people will say the first pregnancy because it's your first. You're
not used to it and all that.
And all that. But funny enough, Brian's pregnancy was like the pregnancy that did not stress me out. You know, so I think we experienced similar things because my second pregnancy was the baby I lost.
Okay.
Yeah, that was not my second pregnancy. That was the third. I lost. You guys go and watch my first video. You hear the gist about all my pregnancies. Anyway, my first was the easiest in everything. Whether we miscarried, whether we needed to flush or evacuate, whether the twins. See those two boys, those actually stressed me. So most people say that, but I really feel that it doesn't really follow any.
No, it does not follow any pattern.
Some may have
like
a
that.
very terrible first pregnancy.
And for me,
the second one becomes very easy.
Okay, for me, I because my mom didn't tell me so much. She just told me that it is prayer. It is prayer and God that brings the baby out. So I didn't really, all those things that you should know. So it caused me to do a lot of research. I was reading a lot of books. I was on the internet. I wanted to know what I should expect. I wanted to understand myself and all that.
Pregnancy was easier.
It was easier, yeah.
Okay, so what about the delivery? Tell us about the delivery of
Moriwa.
And tell us about the delivery of New York.
Okay, because as I said before, I have pregnancy induced high blood pressure, so they were always
Yeah.
monitoring
For
the
both pregnancies, you
yes,
have the same issue.
yes,
Okay.
they were always monitoring. So the doctor already told me that the moment I'm 36 weeks, they will have to induce me. So
That's for Muri.
for Murewa,
Okay.
they induced me for my 2 pregnancies
Yeah.
though, but for that one they said I should come in the moment I'm 36 weeks. So that day I just went back. I was coming from church actually. I just went to the hospital to just check, and then the doctor said that okay, that they will just use half of the tablets, that I can go home, and then in the morning
Come back.
I should come back to see how it progresses. As I got home, I was okay that night, but it was in the middle of the night I just lost it. I started feeling the pains and
Water
all.
break.
They broke the water in the hospital,
Okay.
but I started feeling contractions, severe contractions. But because of what I read, I heard that the pain was supposed to be very severe, so I was expecting a very serious one pain like that.
Yeah.
But my husband was monitoring and all that. Then in the morning, when it was around 6, my husband just said, "Okay, just take your bath. Let's go to the hospital." As at the time I was going to the hospital, it was severe.
Okay.
So by the moment I got to the hospital, the baby's head was already
out.
crowning, and
Wow.
so they just took me in. And because it was quite late, they could not do the tear. The baby just had to come out, and the baby did the tearing itself. So that's
So for me, what happened? Like, because I'm trying to compare.
Mayoko, the moment they were ready to induce me, I didn't go home again.
Okay.
Because of the experience I had with
before, yeah.
the first. So they just said I should stay so that they can monitor the progress. So that's about it. And the
How
delivery.
long did so how long did Mayoko's
I've never had prolonged labor.
labor? Yeah.
For both of them.
Oh,
I've never had prolonged
Me too.
labor.
I've never had that. Okay, so that means like Mayokun was easier than
My Murewa was easier
Murewa was
because I didn't know what to expect. For Mayoko, I already knew what to expect. So
Yeah.
I was just waiting for it to just happen. But for me, I was a novice. I was expecting that.
So that means the first one was harder.
The first one was easier.
Okay, was easier because
Yes.
you were not expecting it.
Because I was expecting something
Okay.
bigger than what I experienced.
Okay. So what shocked you? You said something when we were talking. You said your mom. That's one thing that's I think at our own generation we faced that. So I've spoken to some women off camera, like just having conversations, and I think we all share similar experiences. Like mothers, our moms never really gave us details. And then what we really heard was just bed on the fire.
Yeah, that's it now. That's what they know.
Bed on the fire. That's what we're hearing. But I know that there were so many things we should have learned from them. Now,
True.
even the childbearing, conceiving,
Even what you should do while pregnant.
I didn't get anything. Like I didn't get anything. So
My
I'm
mom was
asking
always
now conceiving, pregnancy, and motherhood.
okay.
What it shock you? Like, what was a shock for you? Because everything came like, so which of them, okay, let me not say which of them, in the three, conceiving, pregnancy, motherhood itself, like, what's the shock for? What's the shocker?
Well, actually, nothing because nothing much. I can't say nothing because I actually did a lot of reading. So what I didn't learn from my mother, I saw on the
Online.
and then I have 2 elder sisters that I speak with that were very close. So they were, although they didn't say much
No
to.
better now. You get that.
I have
I'm the sacrificial lamb.
So
I'm the sacrificial lamb.
yeah, so they told me a few things. So I wasn't so surprised. Although for me, conception was, I didn't see it as the hard thing that people make it seem like.
No, I saw it that way because the mindset I had was you just get married. The moment you just do it, then I didn't know that there was even like it may not
A safe
even
period,
happen.
those.
So I won't lie, as much as I didn't have much pressure from in-laws or people, my family, I was pressured by myself because at that age, young age, getting married, and without I didn't have anybody to school me now. So when I see my period, I get depressed.
No.
Yeah, because I was thinking that it was not quick. I think that was a shock for me.
Okay.
So getting to 4 months, 5. I just I beg. I know I'm not.
Free yourself
Yes,
now.
it happens.
It happens.
It happens, and we've talked about it already. He said my husband was like, if we wait for 2 years, it doesn't happen. Now that's when
You can
we
start
can start
getting.
seeking for fertility, whatever. But for now, so when they got to that year, that was December. I didn't even know I was pregnant when. So for me, the shock for me for conceiving was I thought it was easy.
It was easy.
So
Okay.
I can now understand what women or couples go through.
Maybe
when,
because the reason I didn't put so much pressure on it is because I was dreading the thought of the hospital in my mind. I hate hospitals. I hate needles.
So you didn't even
I
want to
hate.
think about it.
So in my mind, I knew that the moment they want to do blood test, they want to
this
give you
one.
maybe tetanus injection and all those things. So I wasn't. And then I was young now. What am I rushing for? You know, all those kind of.
What about motherhood?
Oh, you, you know why I made that sigh.
Yeah.
I've my at least my elder sister. She has her first children are twins, 2 girls. So I was with her when she was training those children. So I really was hands-on. I was helping. I was carrying.
You know how to change
I was doing all that. But when it was my turn, behold, alas, I was by myself, and.
It's true, you're the
And then
last.
and then
Last one.
my mom came when she came to stay with me was the time she was with me for Omugo that her father died, so she had to leave and all that. I was on my own, and my mother-in-law was working at the time, so I was just on my own. Thank God for friends and people around that helped once in a while.
How did you cope with? You told me that Moriwa did not work quickly. So how did you cope with having a newborn? Because for me, I've told my story. If you want to hear that story, go back to my videos, my past videos. I talked about how I managed my own situation, motherhood, a baby, a toddler, Brian, and twin with CS without help. So it's traumatizing. I won't see. Postpartum depression is real. So I'm asking you, how did you cope?
It was not easy. I can't tell you now that I had one special strength, but I knew that there were days I was carrying the small baby and the toddler and I was crying. I know that there were days like that. And for me, I was also working.
Yes.
I was, and can you? I didn't give you this gist of somebody that embarrassed me when he discovered I was pregnant after the person saw me with big tummy. I was coming down from my office. The person said, "Now so the thing they sweet you." Oh, that don't you know that God made this thing enjoyable without childbearing? Hey, the person
said it. A man or a woman?
A man, old man. I could not talk back. Because
But some people are so insensitive
with their words. At times we are careless, and they didn't know what they demand. I can't forget that thing in my life. I got home, I was fighting my husband. My husband was not like, I was fighting him. I said, "Did you see this?" And the man was not like, But you didn't get pregnant outside wedlock. So and then this is just your second child. It's not like you've had like 5 or 6. So why would someone's comment now make you feel bad? But I actually felt bad. I felt bad. And that is why I can
make you burst into tears.
Yes, and that is why I can still quote verbatim what the person said, because it really touched
you.
It really touched the part.
I can relate to that. In my other video, when I was talking about my conception and all, I mentioned that when my baby died, I took in 3.
I saw that video when your doctor now said, your doctor. Yes, I watched that.
Yeah, and then I got nasty comments from people like, let me not lie, my mom was furious with me because that was like she was like, this is a death sentence.
But it was compassionate sex that brought it now.
From not crying.
Now, sorry now. Sorry now. Now. Sorry now.
So what the thing is that women are the ones that actually go through the shame.
Actually, yes.
Not the men.
Because the guy will walk on the road and nobody will know that he has impregnated somebody.
Yeah, and the sad part of mine was, twins. I was saying that before people will know, I ran 5 months or 6 months. 2 months plus
Your
3 months. My stomach. No, I didn't even know I was having twins. So I was wondering, what am I carrying that this, like, which kind of baby be this when 3 months, like, my stomach is already, like, huge. So it was when the doctor said I was like, so I think maybe the doctor telling me 3 weeks after surgery. That means my womb, God, as in, did you have help? Did you have anybody living with you?
Yes, eventually, when we saw that the stress was too much, my husband had to, we brought in one lady from Jos to stay with us can't even forgotten her name. I can see her face as I'm talking to you now, but I can't really remember her name now. But she was of great help to me at the time. She was living. I've never, now I just with you. I tell you that I really don't like someone living with me, but I like them to come and go. But at that time, I actually needed that, and then she had to come and stay with me, and it really helped me at that time.
So I think this domestic whatever, I think it should be another topic. That day we should even be three that
actually, yes,
because there's a whole lot to say about this whole thing.
And if you get a good one, the best for you.
God don't do it for you, but usually it's very hard. And I went through a lot too.
We call them now. You know what we call them now? Necessary evil. So I have a dark spot in my eye, but it got wider. Yes, you may not notice. Anybody that looks into my eyes will see that. So earlier when we were discussing, I said that was when my mom was with me that she lost her dad. So I mentioned that.
Yes, you said
when we went for the burial, somebody, and I still had a small baby, somebody now saw me, noticed that black thing, quickly went to call my dad. What happened to her? Is she going blind? And this and this and this. She was genuinely concerned actually. It wasn't out of
like spite.
It wasn't out of spite. So she was genuinely concerned. It was not like that is something that happens to people when they just give birth, or there are a lot of things that happen. I now have to tell her that I noticed it had been there, but it got bigger. I don't know how it happens, but it got bigger after I gave birth to my first child.
So what about the second child?
Nothing really, aside the body changes.
So
although
generally,
my snapback after my first child was fast though.
I think that thing has to do with age.
Yes,
the metabolism of
and
the
then
body.
my mom told me, because I was jumping up and she said, as you are going, they will shoot you another one. They will shoot you another. I told her, no, I'm safe. So when I got pregnant for my second child, I hid myself from her for a long time. When she now saw it, said, I told you, all those kind of things. But after the second child, it was just my body that refused.
Did your linear negra go? The line?
No, I really...
Did it fade off?
No, yes, it did. But the tummy is not... it's not firm again. It's not, they are flapping.
See, I said something in my previous video. In that video, I said, once you just decide that you want to get pregnant, or you find out that you're pregnant, just forget about flat tummy. We would welcome you into our sock belegan.
I tried everything though. I used the Gidu.
You don't let go and let go.
I can't keep myself. There are times I will use the Gidu and I won't be able to breathe.
Okay, so did you notice anything on change in your period?
That one is story. I've never till now. My second child is 8 years old. Was 8 years old in June. Till now, I've never had regular period. Like calculate normal 20 kids. Calculate normal 20 days. If I calculate normal 20 days, it will be 2 days plus. This month. Next month, I'll calculate the 30 days so that I'll discover that it's 27. I've never had. So when people say they calculate their safe period not to get pregnant, I can't do it.
Work for you.
I can't do it. If not, I would have gotten pregnant every year since that last time. So since that time, I've not had a regular.
What about your shoe size? Anything happen?
I've always been a size 40, a big size 41. But after I started giving birth, I became a size 42.
I didn't experience that. I've been 38 all my life, and did you experience falling off, like your breastfeeding, hair loss?
No.
Okay, I didn't experience that. So, and postpartum is another wahala entirely. So it's something I tell people that you should just be ready for. You don't even know what your own will be.
I know someone that has experienced memory loss after childbirth.
Okay, so my last question for you is, what has this whole motherhood taught you? It has a sub-question too. Okay. What have you learned from it?
Motherhood has shown me that I can love deep.
Okay.
I've always, when people talk about love, as in deep love, I've always been like, you pass this away with a few, you understand? Yeah. But I've experienced a deeper form of, because when you give birth, when you bring out a child from you, and there's this longing for that child, there's this protection you want to give. So I've experienced, when we talk about the love of the Father, then when we talk about the love of God, I can relate to it now because I have to. It's relatable because I see the way I'm with my children. And you can't really explain to somebody else. And regarding experiences, and regardless of what these children do, that love is just there.
Yes, it's there. Okay, so for me, that one, you said it, so I won't go back there. But the one thing I also learned with motherhood is that no matter how lazy you are, or you claim to be lazy or whatever, even if you have the whole world at your feet, there is something about you that there's this protective instinct.
Yes.
And then you want to protect, and then you want to care for your own.
Yes.
Even though you have people helping you and all that, there is something about it, and then
you go all the way.
You go all the way, and then also you become what they call multitasking.
Yes.
If you were not even a multitasking person, the
Yes.
moment kids come, you just see that you can do so many things at the same time. That's what it has. So any regrets?
Maybe I would have wanted, if I can be certain that I will have a girl, I would have wanted to have a girl amongst them so that I have someone that will look like me actually.
And at least the way you relate to your sisters.
Yeah, someone that can take over my clothes, the way I can go and steal my sister's clothes and all that.
Yeah,
You know,
so there's nobody for me now, nobody to steal my makeup, nobody to.
You know,
I-
that's it. Although
that's
when I
the
think about it again, I'm like, I beg, may they just take it. Be the fuel price of fuel now. Maybe
I think
just
for
calm
me,
down.
because we are both boy moms, I think our regrets, like, the only thing I think of is if I could go back and actually now choose a sex.
Yes.
Like, as the twins, I'll just say, okay,
One
God,
boy, one girl.
let this girl enter. That
Yes.
is where making her.
You know,
I would have
something
done that.
like that.
So that's like I think for motherhood, that's like the only regret I have. So Dammy, it's so amazing. You know, our gist, no, they finish. As in, so it's like, I'm so happy. I enjoyed every moment of this conversation.
I didn't even think that I would be able to gist well.
But I told you now.
But it's you and me now.
Alright guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I remain Ada Igwe, aka I too Sabi. You are on to Chit Chat with Ada, and the topic is motherhood. You know what to do. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and every other place you can
Tell
find
my
us.
friend to go to the permanent site. Oh.
Because I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.